Lori here. I'm here today to do two book reviews, and these books I got from Comic-Con, and they came from Epic Reads, and they came from the booth where you like stand in line for a really, really long time, and you were able to pick like two or one book out of three arcs that you wanted, and I got to do the fairy tale retelling one twice. So I chose Hunted at one time by Megan Spooner, and then the second time I did it, I chose Wish Granter by C.J. Redwine. I'm going to talk about this one first. This is actually the sequel to Shadow Queen, and they are companion novels, so you don't necessarily need to read Shadow Queen. And I actually did enjoy this one a little bit more than I did Shadow Queen, but you do see the characters for like a brief moment. There's like a cameo, and if you read the story, you'll know what they're talking about, and if you don't, it will just be a lost reference on you. But I really, really love this book. I gave this book like 5 stars. I thought it was spectacular. If you've been following me for a while, you know I really enjoy stories that have twins in them. And this book follows two characters named Ari and Sebastian, and it's a Rumpelstiltskin retelling. And um, Ari and Sebastian's mother was killed, and they are the bastard children of the king of this land. And after um, their mother dies, Sebastian is forced by Rumpelstiltskin to make a wish that he wants to be king so he can save his sister, when it is the hope that Rumpelstiltskin will be able to not only control him and his sister, but also control the entire land. The character of Ari in this is such a unique role model, and I loved her in this. It was so, so good. The romance in this I actually really enjoyed, and I thought it was a nice slow build in a standalone story, because that's what it is. I thought it was a really, really slow build romance, and I really, really enjoyed both characters in the romance. It was a little bit bloodthirsty. It was a little bit like there was some unexpected twists that I did not see coming, but CJ Redwine tends to do that. She does include a lot of character deaths, especially unexpected character deaths. But that is a fact about CJ Redwine's writing that I really, really enjoy. She really is able to build such a fantastical and such a complex world that you really, really are so invested. The one thing I would have liked to see a little bit more of in the story was more relationship between the twins, like actually in the story. You got a little bit in the beginning and a little bit in the end, but there was nothing really in the middle, and I guess because it really was more of Ari's story, but I really did like the character of Sebastian, so I was hoping we would get like a little bit more from Sebastian, but overall, it was actually a really, really good story. It was a very, 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 very fast-paced read, and I really like the character of Rumpelstiltskin, and I think that what CJ Redwine does really, really well is she takes such a traditional story but turns it on its head, and it makes you surprised, like, oh my god, what's going to happen next? Even though we all kind of know the story of Rumpelstiltskin, she takes it and does it in such a unique way. And I just really, really enjoyed reading her writing, and I know that there's 2 other books coming in the series. One's a Prince and a Pauper retelling, and I can't remember what the other one was. Um, but if you haven't checked out Shadow Queen, I highly recommend you do. I thought Shadow Queen was great as well, but I really, really enjoyed the way that Wish Granter was told. And it was just a very, very fast-paced read. If you're looking for a escapist novel, I would highly recommend that you read it. And if you're a teacher and you are doing fantasy stories or fairy tale retellings, I would read excerpts of this, maybe not the bloody and gory stuff, but I thought that it was a really, really unique way to craft an alternative story with Rumpelstiltskin in charge. So that is my thoughts on Wish Granter. I also have a more of my thoughts in a book like on my Books Like blog, and you guys can check that out as well. And then the next book that I got was Hunted by Megan Spooner. This is the author of These Broken Stars series that she writes with Amy Kaufman, and they're coming out with another one. I think it's like going to come out in October, but this is her first standalone that I've read by her. And it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It wasn't my favorite book. I gave it 3 stars. I just had a very hard time connecting to the beauty in this story. I felt like her character was a little bit two-dimensional, and she wasn't my favorite character to read about. The Beauty and the Beast, as I've always said, is so insta-love, and it really was in this story as well. So I had a little bit of problems. The one thing I did like about the story is that it really turned the Gaston experience totally on its head. And I like that. I thought that that added a lot of that was like a unique take on the situation, and I enjoyed it. The characters just weren't my favorite, but I did like the story, and I liked how we got the whole story from the beauty's point of view, and then we got diary entries from the beast. I like a good diary entry, so that was a nice way to have both their point of views represented in the story, even though the story was mostly the beauties. But I would recommend, if you're gonna buy this, I would recommend you rent it from the library because it is a standalone as I know right now. But I would definitely recommend that you bet it, if you really enjoyed Shadow Queen, you buy Wishgranter because I thought that it was a very, very solid sequel. And I really, really enjoyed it. But this one I would recommend that you borrow or rent from your library. But those are my thoughts on those two fairy tale books that I got from Epic Reads. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!